What's up, y'all? I know it's been a while. Almost a month again. My bad. And not even gonna say Happy New Year's. There's no point in that because we already know it's a new fucking year. No New Year, new me bullshit. The only thing that'll change is I'm trying to upload twice a week, which this week it probably won't fucking happen. Matter of fact, it will if I put my foot in my own ass. But besides that, yeah. I'm coming. I feel like no. This year is a year where I try to stick to series. It depends on views. So it's like if one thing doesn't view too high, it's like I won't do it. But if another thing views high, it's like okay, I'm gonna do that. Like the Carmine thing, I'm gonna continue the Carmine series because I love it. Predator, I'm lazy, and I'm waiting for the seasons to come out. So I'll watch 3 episodes, then do an episode of Predator. Jason, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot where the fuck I was with that. Uh, Fucking Anubis, the old one, I can't really do as much as people hate me for that. The new one, people don't like it, so yeah. What else was there? I don't know. The Naruto ones, I'm trying to get into that community, but people don't like me doing Naruto, so I guess I'm not a Naruto person. Fuck it. Fuck yeah. This shit is terrible. Fucking yeah, I hate the Naruto what ifs. I tried. But anyway, something new. What if Deku was samurai? Wait, matter of fact, would it be samurai or Wu Tang? Ooh, actually no, Wu Tang are fucking no Wu Tang are Ronin. So it would make sense either way. What if Deku was in the Wu Tang? Was a Wu? No, what the fuck? Wu Tang. Hmm. Sam. I mean, it makes no difference. I think I'll name it Wu Tang, and if people think, oh, Wu Tang is a no, then Samurai. It depends. The name is up in the air, but anyway, yeah. This starts off in feudal Japan, and yes, power quirks were a thing back then, but they weren't as prominent as they were now because things evolve. These quirks need to be activated through weapons or clothes. As in, back then, like Deku was a Ronin. That's what opens up the Wu Tang door because the Wu Tang group was Ronin, even though all of them were masters. Yes, you're still getting the yawns. It's currently 1:17 in the morning, and the only reason why I'm recording so fucking late is because if I wake up in the morning, I won't do the shit. And if you're hearing me and I feel more lower, it's because I'm back on my fucking mic. So, the saga continues. Fuck. I tried to pop my knuckle. Anyway, hmm. Uh, fuck. What was I gonna say? Oh, um, we go to Deku, whose current mission is to assassinate, kill. Wait, it's not really assassinate. Would it be assassinate? Eh, I mean, it's a failed assassination, but Deku is currently locked in a battle with a famous general. I can't say the name of because I don't know if his name is fucking will send me to the abyss. But yeah, he's locked in battle with the famous general, and he and Deku and him basically go into a clash, and Deku is sent back because of General's brute force. And Strength pushes Deku back, but Deku then slides on his back and pops up off his hand, and basically looks at the famous general, and these two continue going at it, continue clashing, like swords clash, sparks fly everywhere, and then lights and Deku finally gets a very good hit in on the general, and the general it goes not down, but the general takes a pretty lofty hit, and he's down on a knee. But but why I include them sparks is because all the sparks flying around, it starts a chain reaction of gunpowder. And yes, gunpowder was back then in Japan, so don't even argue with me. And for anyone says no, we can argue about history in the fucking comments. The fucking Japanese had gunpowder. I mean, they had the earliest version of the muskets and cannons, I think. Not the best, but it was like early enough. But yeah, they had gunpowder. So it said gunpowder. How the fuck did he miss? So it said gunpowder went off. Deku was sent flying out the room. And down a fucking cliff. And when he was when he was descending down the cliff, a portal opened. Well, a rift. Wait, what would you call that? A portal or a rift? A rift in time or a portal? I think more of a portal? Question mark? Yeah, I think a portal. No, it'll be yeah, it will just be a portal, I would say. A portal will open as he's like falling towards death, or what he think was his death, and then he's falls to the portal, which basically goes forward in time to the year of My Hero Academia. And where he spawns is the place where all things begin. Deku's falling through the sky and looks down and sees like a town and shit. I mean, yeah, basically the hero exam. And he's very fucking confused by this. So he's like looking around and sees no footholds for him to get into. He does, however, see it's a giant robot and hears a girl's voice screaming. So Deku basically flips his body and turns around and grabs his sword. Now with this sword, he basically loads in the water element, and he basically does the Zenitsu pose, you know, if you watched it, and he has his sword in his sheath. Matter of fact, no, he doesn't. He has a sword overhead, and he turns it, and when he's on, and he goes, how do I say this? He stabs the sword into the robot's head and slowly drags it through, causing the water to go all into the robot. No, wait, it cause the wait. No, actually, fuck it, scratch that. He basically has a sword in the clasp, and when he's falling down, he hurry up and does that anime sword thing where it's like just sync plot, and the robot is like cut in half down the middle, and while Deku is still falling towards the ground. Wait, give me a second. Yeah, I'm back. It took me a minute, but I'm back. So, one thing Deku figures out is that while he's falling is that his well, he doesn't call it. He call wait, what did they call it? They wouldn't call it quirks. They call it well, his abilities are a lot stronger, and his muscles are too. So he was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna kill this bot, save the girl, and possibly fucking die. He thinks like, actually, let me try this, and changes the way he's falling, and goes into a spinning, um, a rotation basically, a spin-like rotation that ends up being, you know, his ends up being, you know, like, you know, his wind formation. I mean, I said his wind formation. Basically, he's spinning, and he's basically like doing the whole like, you know, wind thing. So while he does it, basically a tornado will form under him. Oh, not a tornado, but he start making like a wind-like thing, which would just slow his descent. And he'd reach the ground after a while and like touch down softly, which to everyone like to Ochaka, she thanks him, but at the same time, everyone in the exam like, yo, who is this nigga? Where did he come from? So he lands, and the first thing Ochako, besides like having the sprained ankle, she realizes that he has armor on. Like this isn't like he doesn't have samurai armor, but he has like Ronin shit. He doesn't have the helmet because his helmet basically got knocked off in the fall, but he has the armor. So she realizes the armor, and he's like, and she's thinking, okay, is he like old school or is it like old school, a cosplayer, or did something happen? So as she's thinking that, she's like, I don't know, but yeah, still yawning. I ain't yawn. You know what pisses me off is I don't yawn a single time after after the recording. I always yawn during the fucking recording. So basically, and instead of he carries her to where she points him to, but basically as soon as he gets there, he's asked like a heap of questions by staff. They're like, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?" He says, "Oh, yada yada of this clan." And like, what the fuck? They're like, "Sir, stop playing." I mean, they're like, "Kids, stop playing." And he's like, "I'm serious." And then he shows like the banner, and they're like, "Oh shit." And they're like, "No, there's no way this can be real." They touch it, and the silk is exactly that. And they're like, "Ooh, what the fuck?" They're basically like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And he was like, "I have no clue how I got here, but what year is it?" And I succeeded in my mission, I guess. But what year is it? And they say, "Oh, yada yada yada." He's like, "What the fuck?" He's saying like, "Excuse me? No, you're joking." One guy pulls out a phone, and he's like, "Oh," and Deku's basically like, "Oh shit, oh shit," and it's like, "Huh? Well, how did Japan do?" And they basically give him the whole rundown of history, and he's like, "Huh? All right, that's different." Anyway, I had to throw my phone for a second. So he basically give him the whole rundown, and he's like, "Okay," and he's like learning. And I'd say a couple hours pass. He's like, "Okay, so this happened, yada yada." And he was like, "Yep, pretty." And they're like, "Yep, pretty much." So after that, see, I hate this shit. So during the whole fucking thing, I had to throw my phone again. Let's say a time skip of a month, because he naturally got accepted because like, hey, he saved the student. Plus, if word gets out that a time traveler came from the past, people are gonna be all over his ass. So, for the world's best interest, they're basically informing him of like current events and teaching him in that month, and he's like, "Oh, okay, all right." So this is called a quirk, yada yada, and yeah, time skip the current, and he lives at the school. Actually, he doesn't need like any help besides money wise, and even then they taught him everything about the economy and shit like that. So he learned relatively fast, but he still keeps a lot of old customs. Like if you go to his room, he's very fucking old fashioned. He has like the wooden panel, sleeps on like the futon and everything. Keeps his weapons sharp. And when they ask like, "Hey, like what, you don't need to carry a weapon around," he says, That's how I activate my power." Power? I mean, and they say, "You mean a quirk?" He's like, "Power?" He no, it's a power. And then he like pulls a sword, and it has water, fire, wind, earth. Not earth is kind of a environmental thing. He doesn't. He has lightning, but it isn't as good as people make it seem. But yeah, with that being said, with all that being with all that being said, basically like they had the whole like spiel, and then it's like, okay, so you're allowed to have them, but you have to use non-lethal, such as, and they pull out like swords. I mean, swords that do blunt damage, but but still a katana, so it does blunt damage, and it hurts a hell of a lot more, but it isn't that sword. It isn't a sharp sword, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that happens, and basically, like during that month, he goes into school for the first day, and he's sitting there in class, and he's drinking tea, and they're asking, "How are you drinking tea?" And he shows, and matter of fact, he's drinking tea, and they're like, "Oh, how'd you get like a cup in a fucking? How'd you get like a cup, and why is it warm? I mean, how'd you get a cup in here?" And then he shows his bag, shows a fucking cup that he shows that he puts the cup in a part of the bag. He carries it into school. So he's just drinking corner store tea from a fucking cup that was in his bottle. And matter of fact, no, he's not drinking corner. He's drinking tea he made at home that he poured into a cup from a bottle and drinking it at the fucking desk that he's sitting at. That's next to the window. Anime folk jacket is for you. But he's basically just like, drinking it, and he's enjoying it because, he made it because he knew it wouldn't stay hot the entire day. So he made it like cool tea. So he's just drinking. Ida basically like, he got on for a second, and Deku basically said like, I know the rules, but we have so much time before class, and I got here for everyone else. I wanted to get me a cup of tea. And he basically like brings out extra sets of cups and he says if anyone wants to join in, I can pour you a cup. So Ida, Momo, Tetsuyu, Ochako, what was it? Beat guy. I can never remember his name. I can never remember his name. But Dark Shadow basically gets a cup. And basically all the people who seem like they get a cup get a cup. Sugar Rush would get a cup, and the Bug Guy would get a cup. All of them would get cups. Even the Rocker Girl gets a cup. If anyone gets the Rocker Girl reference, yes, I've been playing Cyberpunk. I could do a one where Deku is from... Nah, in fact, that's for a different time. So, that whole thing happens. No, I'm not going into the whole throwing art, because there's no point in that. Because Deku wouldn't get fucking first place, he'd get second. Because he'd outthrow Kachan because of the wind. No, actually, he wouldn't even get any. He'd get basic results besides running and stamina, and he'd get above average, but he wouldn't get like outstanding broken results. Because All Might gave his shit to fucking Mirio, so he wouldn't. So here's why Deku wouldn't get outstanding result. No, I'm just shooting myself in the foot because I said earlier he uses his clothes to activate. No, he would actually get very good results, but it depends on how he's using the fucking quirk. Like running, he'd get like fucking. He'd get like second or third because he uses the wind to push himself. Hmm. In like, huh? How would I say this? Hmm. What else is there? Well, no, actually, it would be the side to side thing, and he'd get like an average result. No, he'd get above average, actually. What else was there? I mean, all the rest stuff he'd get either above average or he'd score very high, depending on how or what it was. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out something. Hmm. How the fuck am I gonna do this? Well, the fucking exam worked out pretty well. But that part worked out very well. And then they get to the fucking hero portion. I say hero portion. The fuck. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. The exam everyone's been waiting for. What else? He has. Hmm. I mean, Bakugo really hasn't been fucking with him because he finds him kind of weird because how old school he is. And actually, yeah, Bakugo would fuck with him, but Deku wouldn't take it because Deku ain't no sucker. I mean, Deku isn't a fucking child, so he isn't gonna like give him the reaction he wants. Which is we all know is like the oh fight me sort of thing. He'd be like, nah, you're just a kid talking shit, pretty much, and he'd just let it be until that day where oh boy, Deku dons the armor again. Everyone class sees how fucking goated he is, like usual, and shit like that. I'm gonna leave it off here because yeah, I'm kind of getting back into the swing of it. It'll take me a minute, but I'm getting back into the swing of it. So yeah, peace.